learn. There we go. Girl, I wanna make you sweat. Check it out. Sweat, you can sweat no more. Okay. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. Oh. So, this was something that obviously I think people want to know whether or not it's playable. Well, it turns out that if you can't get like any more than 30 frames per second here, then you know it sucks. But like I'm using a system that's pretty old.
I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm.
And I'm a meme artist, so please bear with me. Let's go have a look out the window anyway more here. So NPCs are still kind of like a bit silly, they're balked. But look, we got clouds. Wow, clouds. Awesome. Not so awesome, because they do actually create a lot. Dude is literally doing the Running Man. Too legit. Too legit to quit. Anyway. So your experience will be pretty much like this. What you're going to do is you want to head out here, okay? And you also want to make sure that you're wearing your helmet and flight suit. I'm wearing some tanky armor as well. Nothing too unusual, right? And we want to go down to the ground floor. So elevator is quite easy. You just press F to click. Okay. If you ever get a fine, that's where you pay. Unless it's a parking fine, and you can pay at the terminal, which is where we're going now. I do. Oh. Can't get to Hurston. Stupid. Okay, so we want to head to the Metro Center, which is like your underground tram network. Here's a map. If you're into maps, that is. So it says green is your station locations, right? And you are here. So the green one, you got 2 stations. You want to go to the top one. Alright? So this one here, at the top. Okay. If you accidentally yourself, you end up here. That's a hospital, basically. Okay. This is new. That's a new hospital. That was only added in this patch. So, I don't know. I felt I needed to make this video specifically because, like, I had someone decide to do a block of text. Dude doesn't know grammar, hasn't got any paragraphs. Had to delete it, dude. Can't have that on my timeline. It's just, it's for other people, not for you. I mean, like, I've seen your content, I've seen your post. Dude, you think you're a developer, but you're just like a child, dude. Like, you know, you might have like autism or something. Which is cool. We all have autism. It's just some of us are more intelligent than others. So you'll get your time here, it tells you to the number. Yeah, just like on the London Underground. You used to be able to sit down, but that's bugged. They must have removed it for a reason, because yeah. Chris Robbers, yeah, we're gonna close that down. If you don't want to speak to people, don't just press F12. That F12 will just open it up so you can see that. You get F11, you can actually find your friend list as well, if you have friends, which you don't, because you're trying to make them right now. So this is what it feels like to have a colony on Mars. Apparently, it's very kind of like Weyland-Yutani looking, right? Very industrial. I don't know. It would be nice if like they had an atmospheric like a processor plant or something, like actually made that. But this is basically where China's all of China's shipping containers are ending up. Yeah, that's where they're all going. Okay. So as we're coming into here, I'm getting probably about 25 frames. It's decent, but it could be better. They're working on it. But yeah, people going, it's not 60 frames per second. Blah, 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 blah. Dude, do you have a PC that can handle 60 frames? No, you don't. Shut up. You know, unless you're using like an RTX 2080 or a 3080, you're not getting 60 frames, bro. Yeah, you gotta stick with this is not right. Let's turn around. Hey, we just back up into it. That's not supposed to happen, so just ignore it. Okay, just pretend it's not there. Okay, so this is our starport, and what you want to do is you want to check one of these terminals, and you can press F on them. So you go over to it, you press F.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval.
And it'll give you a list of all your ships, and you should have like just one ship because you're a peasant, and it's usually something like an Aurora or something, and I don't have one of those peasant ships, so I have the equivalent of an Aurora would be for me probably a Cutlass, which is actually one of my favorite ships, believe it or not. And this one's stored at Everest Harbor, which is just above us. It's like a space station. I usually go for this one anyway.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Okay, we want to go to Hangar 5, so we just click this shit here. Yeah, man. And this is actually like the largest ship I own, but it's not actually a ship that I own, it's a loaner. Because the largest ship that I own is bigger than this ship. It's just it hasn't come out yet, it's in development. It should be out earliest October, latest maybe February. But the refactor is literally in the third quarter of this year, so you know we're in the second quarter now. This is refueling basically, and minor mining fixes like gadgets and stuff. They don't really do roadmaps as much anymore because people just it's easier to under deliver. Sorry, it's even to under. What is it? Under. What you call it? Okay, the term in business is it's easier to keep your expectations low, but deliver high when you can. So that's what's going on. Is like basically they say, all right, okay, well we're not going to tell you what's going on. We're going to keep our expectations of low. We're going to only tell you the bare minimum, and then you know when it actually comes out, you'll be like, all like, oh wow, this is more than they actually said they were coming out. Yes, that's what happens. They added a button where I could just press a button and it sends a radio signal and it says, yeah, we're going to open the hatch. Yeah, that's new. That literally got added this patch. For you guys, it's unbound, so what you want to do is you want to actually go into your key bindings, okay, and it's under movement, flight movement. You can go all the way down to the bottom and just add it here. So flight request is 9 double tap. You can press for anything that you want to double tap, you just select it with a Y, which is this one here, and it says double tap. Okay. And I'm a filthy pedal user, so but I use mouse and keyboard still because I just like the feel. It's like very Star Trek Enterprisey to use a kind of like a keyboard, maybe. But what we want to do is we want to actually head out. So you see here, certain buttons you want to make sure you retract your landing gears. Okay, some ships also have the vertical takeoff abilities, which this one does, but everything has vertical takeoff really. It's just some of them have animations which give them more thrust power to go up and down. Okay, so for like what you're going to be doing, this is a 10-minute video. Jeez, it's so long. For your first thing you want to do is like figure out what you want to do. So you can do that by opening up your contracts manager and just going through sort of like If you want to do some combat stuff, pick up the call to arms, unless you're doing piracy, yeah? And then you want to pick up some missions or whatever. This particular one will be a bunker mission, so you'll go into a bunker, and that means you need a gun. You can actually just like run up, sneak up behind someone and just middle mouse button, which will knock them out. And then when they're on the floor, they're in a dazed state, which means they can be resuscitated. But if you press middle mouse button again, you stamp on their head, because this is not violent at all. Not about these ones. I haven't actually taken any of these sort of like missions, because since I got rid of my my Crusader Ares Inferno, which is like it's like a heavy fighter with a huge Gatling gun. Like that's the only gun it has, and it's got decent muscle racks as well. So you know it's really good for combat. So when you're in space, remember we bound that key to 9 to do double tap, yeah? So when we get to a certain speed, what we want to do is, if you press C, yeah, it will enable cruise control, and then you can use your scroll wheel to go up and down. Which, if you can see, it's just on the left-hand side is how fast you go. So you want to keep it sort of like just at the blue line for most things, because you don't. If you accelerate too fast, you can't slow down too quickly. Yeah, because it takes a while to slow down. So give it a little bit of boost, get as close as you think you need to get, and then just pull it back down. And we'll go down to about 100 kilometers an hour. And as you go into the station, you want to lower that to like about 30.
Hello.
Which is
Thank you for contacting EDL Landing Assist.
okay. So we got EDL landing assist. We're going to hit double tap on the key, and it should give us a hangar.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Alright, so we got the far one on the left. Speed up a little bit, just get closer. Obviously you want to take your time with this, like there's no rush. Alright. I have like super impatient brain, because everything needs to be sped up for me, because my brain works pretty slow, which is kind of retarded. I blame my diet, really. Peasant diet, Iceland burgers and chips. Alright, if you press the C button again, it takes the cruise control off and you want to go manual. So just use the WASD to kind of like roll as well with your Q and E, which I think is by default. Press the N button, and what you do is you produce your landing gears. Which again, they come down like this.
Landing gear down.
And you'll get an audio alert that says it's fine. And you want to just slide in. Try to keep dead center, and then move as far forward as possible until you get to a just touching, but not touching. And then you just want to slide down. So you just want to kind of like crouch or whatever button is your up and down. Usually space bar and control, I think, is what I've got it bound to.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And then you press and hold the Y button down, and you'll stand up. And then you can leave the ship, okay? And we're gonna go to the platform. Just to give you an idea of like what your first experience. It takes about 14 minutes to get to this new station, right? From the hub. So you got to be patient. Don't expect everything to be done for you. You got to learn how to do things respectfully. Ask for help. So you use 12, and you just press the enter key, and then you can type in a message. Yeah. And then you press enter again, and it should deliver it. If you press tab, you change to different. But you want to be on global chat, okay? Unless you're actually in a group, like party chat is the next one. Unfortunately, the chat sucks in this game, because it hasn't really been worked on at all. despite my complaining on Spectrum about it. And I have complained about it. I said that global chat needs to be removed, it needs to be replaced with zone chat for each area. Because if they want to have 40,000 people on a server, because that is essentially what it's going for, they're going for 40,000 people on a sharding server. So it means that you won't actually be on the same server as everyone, but they'll be able to connect and use your, you'll be able to interact with people on the same server still. Kind of, it's kind of weird. It's like a branching system. So like you'll have leafs, which will be representative. They'll hold up to about 50 players maybe at one time, but they can stream onto one ship eventually. The development of that technology, no company has ever produced that technology, so it's absolutely brand new, pioneering technology that's coming to this game, which is why it's taking so long. So please be patient with the project. Understand that it is a work in progress. Nothing like this has been made before. Okay? Alright.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
When you get here, all we want to do is restore that one. Okay? And we're going to go visit the Galleria, actually, and the cargo deck. Okay? So the Galleria and the cargo deck, they both have different utility tools. The cargo deck isn't going to be a sort of like a working functional deck until like later in sort of like patches when the cargo refactor comes up, because you'll be able to sort and load your own cargo. You'll be able to sort of like request a shipping container which is empty or whatever and put your stuff in it basically. To put stuff in things, we'll open that and we'll show you in a minute. So that was a hospital. I'll have to tell you how to save a function. So any of you played World of Warcraft, it's like a Hearthstone system. So basically you just go to the hospital, and these guys are all, I think they're just showing us like what's going on. This is actually something that's happened today, not normal. This doesn't usually happen. But yeah, so all these guys are a bit showing, oh my god, what the hell, dude? Make a delivery. I think you need to see a doctor. That's how's it going? How's it going? I think your neck's broken. Okay, food and water. Okay, so when you actually go to, if you're doing like any shipping delivery stuff, yeah, you want to use your Aurora to sell, buy, and trade. There are a few things you can do, which is obviously do the trade and stuff, but like you can actually buy food and drink here. You actually get a measurement of hydration and sort of like hunger, which over time you need to make sure that doesn't drop to like a 0%. Same with health as well. If you buy stim packs. Hello. See, they're very nice normally when their neck's not broken. You can't talk to them. They've all got the same voice but different faces. Like, it's weird. Ooh, what's this?
Nice to see you again.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I could loot that, but I can't. So what we want to do now is we're actually going to buy a backpack. Let's buy this backpack actually. Just one. You actually don't need to buy a lot of this stuff, because if you do bunker missions, especially cave missions, you can actually just like shoot people and then steal their stuff. There you go. So what we'll do is we'll put this on. It's a large backpack, so it's got quite a lot of storage space. 85,000 micro USD or SCU, whatever. These are 125 micro SCU, so like one SCU cargo. You can put literally anything in these little boxes, and for this one it's got clothes in it. Hey, let's put this jacket in here too. We can sell these clothes if we take them out of the box, but if we leave them in the box, like obviously like rare items, like for instance these, the shoes, I've got like a bunch of combat knives in storage, like on the planet, and I need to like sort it out at some point. But everything is like a single item drag drop, like Star Wars Galaxies. Actually, exactly like Star Wars Galaxies to a degree. You press I to open up your inventory management to do this. You'll have a personal inventory, which will be on the left, and then your local inventory on the right. And if there is no local inventory, your personal inventory will appear on the right instead of the left, and there'll be nothing on the left. When you're in a ship, there'll actually be two tabs. So you'll have your personal inventory will come up here probably, and then you'll have the local inventory plus your vehicle inventory as a tab, and you just select between the two. So that's kind of like everything is click and drop. So if you want to just click and drop it, if it's too big, like for instance if it's a special helmet, this will go into there. It will show you how much space it uses, and you just put it back. Okay. Equipping stuff like guns and items and ammos. If you have guns, they're going to usually be here. Utilities like multi-tools, like the one I'm wearing. Oh, there you go. So I'm wearing this one here. So you just equip it, and it will go to one of two. What? No. Huh. I just want to highlight over it. Sometimes it's a little bit jank, but yeah. You can put that in your inventory. You press the button to bring it out. Press J. And then just click on it and press J again, and it should actually equip it. So this is a tractor beam, so it's for picking up boxes and stuff. Anything that's like size 1 to size 8, sorry, like this size basically, it will go up to this size. Do 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 do. Right, okay, so what we want to do, we go to the Galleria now, because I want to show you how to sell like junk items. If you get any items that go into your inventory storage, either your local, for your ship, or whatever, and you can just, hey, we're going to grab that, because it looks like someone just dropped it, and then we're going to store it. Hey, you know, if you have items that no one wants, we'll just go to armor, and then we'll just go to backpacks. Okay, and I picked up that backpack. I can't sell it. Wow. Okay, it's fine, but we're not going to sell these items. You want to go to the shops that have items that you have of groups. So basically, if it's clothing, you want to go to the Cassava, and then you want to click on the sell. Okay, so if the items are in your inventory, so the jacket I want to keep because it's a nice jacket. Look, it tells you it's nice because it's expensive, and then you have other jackets which are not so nice, which you could just get rid of. Okay, this is very slow at the moment because they don't actually have like a decent transaction speed, and also you can't tick boxes, etc. We have complained about this on Spectrum, so it might be taken into consideration. It might be coming out in the update patch later this month, maybe. But it just depends on how building blocks works, to be honest. I don't know how it works because I'm not a developer. I know how glyphs work. Because I'm an alchemist. Lols. Okay. What I want to do is I'm going to check that box again. Or one of these boxes. So that's got fruit in it. We don't want to use this. If it's in a box, it won't actually show up for sale. So it's a good way to kind of like use boxes to store the items. But right now, there's no way to rename them. Which is kind of like what you want to do is be able to rename them. Because there's so many assets, it does take a little bit of time for me specifically. I'm not using like a modern PC, so my core count is only 4, and they're running what, 4 gigahertz or so. The memory is old school, DDR4. So, yeah. Alright. Oh no. Hey, check it out. That bag actually went inside that bag. It's so crazy. Hey dude, I heard you left backpack, so we put a backpack in your backpack. But you can see those armor parts I can actually sell. So there you go. So if we want to sell the certain things, we can just like drag them out of the boxes. And then they should actually be available for sale. There you go. It's not much you get for these, but it's worth it. And as you can see here, my fluid count is going down, so my thirst is going up, so to speak. So you got to take your helmet off to drink. It's good practice to make sure you pick up, if you're going to go trading, like you can always pick up like resources at the trade outposts, like food and water is always there. You just got to find it, and it's free. It's free because they love making sure that, you know, people are taken care of in space, right? Okay, so what we have is, I'm going to take my helmet off, I'm going to put it into my backpack, and I'm going to take this soda, and I'm going to put it in my hand, which shouldn't be like there. Alright, maybe not. And no, you can't play the arcade machines, sadly, yet. Be nice if you could though. It reminds you of like, if you've ever gone on coach journeys and stuff, and you've ever gone to like rest stops, this is what the feel is supposed to be. I think they need crane machines. I really do. I think that a crane machine would be more ideal. Like they should have a machine that allows you to claw to pick up stuffed squishy toys, and you should be able to kind of like suction cup them onto your dashboard. But the problem is if your ship explodes, you lose them. So yeah. So you can see I can't actually eat or carry anything, can I? Fruit is actually hydrating, but also it alleviates food as well, so it's kind of cool. Alright, sometimes you get problems like this because I blame people that are connecting from like non-European servers. Just basically, I'm gonna play on the European servers. Go away, Americans, we don't like you here. Do you know what? Do you know what's missing? Russian servers. Why are there no Russian servers? There should be Russian servers. Could you just imagine if CIG put Russian servers? There'd be outrage, wouldn't there? Be, oh no! Dude, like, I don't know. I'm like anti-corruption, you see. Don't like corrupt governments. Anyway, I'm gonna put my helmet back on. If I die of starvation, I die of starvation. If you are on a station, you've just stored your ship, yeah, you can actually just exit the game. And when you log back in, you'll actually appear at a hub. So when you first start with regards to which place and area that you're going to go, is you usually want to choose whichever one. There's like 4 to choose from. Like I think it's Lorville, New Babbage, Orison, and Area 18. Area 18 is industrial. It's like Coruscant. Just the whole planet is just a city. Lorville is probably like, that's where we were. It's kind of low flame. Like you don't get problems with frames. So if you have problems with sort of like a shit computer, go to New Babbage, because New Babbage is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and it's pretty well optimized. It's like there's not a lot of kind of like junk assets around like there is at Lorville and Area 18. Orison is definitely going to be high sort of like FPS because, well, it's going to be high sort of like lag or latency, just because it's got clouds and stuff. But if you're running a decent computer, you're going to get like, 40, 50 frames per second on Orison, no problem. If you're running anything with a 30, 80 or above, like, you're going to get 60 frames so easily. Loading screen music. Just kidding, we can't do that because like if I upload this to YouTube, I'll probably get told off. It's a clip, dude, fair use. Okay, so we've come out of a hab. Take the helmet off, put it back in your backpack, and then we'll want to kind of like drag this back to that. Yeah, you can see the hands there now. Alright. Come on, dude. A little bit of latency, it's fine. I think this is just down to my, like, the PC I'm using. No? So you hold F and you get the cursor, and it allows you to highlight objects. Press buttons. Just remember that. Alright. What I want to do is we're going to go into the medical clinic. So that's for kind of like if you need, if you got a broken leg and stuff, like fix that there. You can buy drugs from here. There you go. You can also sell drugs here. Ooh. Custodian. You can sell ammo? Okay, one of the things I don't like about this is the fact that none of the people here use pages. Tannoys are so like 1950s, right? Like nowadays everyone just gets a little like text message. Yeah, but like if you go to the South Hall, like I bet you there's no one there. And I bet there's no mess there. It's not even a guy that, a janitor. Okay.
If anyone sees a patient wearing blue pants, a red striped shirt, red and white hat, and glasses, would you please contact the front desk to let us know where you spotted them? Thanks.
What was that? Sorry. It's Dr. Robotnik, dude. A red and white hat, dude. Does your person have a beard? It's like, guess who? It's pretty funny. Alright.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
I'm going to go back. We're going to get a new ship this time.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the facility.
This is more on par to what most people have if they have a decent pledge. Usually they'll have a Mustang Alpha, a Pisces, or an Aurora. So they're like low quality ships. You can buy them like sort of like 200,000 UEC. So like anyone can get one. You can rent a Cutlass for like I think 10 or something like 15,000. I don't know. Like you go to the cargo deck. There's actually a place with a terminal you can rent ships from. Actually, do you know what? We'll do that. After, yeah, no, we'll go. Right. So when you come out of here, you want to go to the cargo deck straight away. You can go to like a refinery mining deck or whatever. If you've got like a little bit of money, because you've done a few like delivery missions, like delivering boxes, you can go to the cargo center again.
Concerns got you. Would it improve your health?
They need to make it so that this is kind of like vacuum sealed, because it makes more sense. Because like if it's going to like different decks in a space station, you'll only hear like a hum. I want to hear like a turbo lift hum. Alright, so it's not these terminals here. I'm going to go over to this one, and this is where you can get rentals. and you can rent your mom here. Just kidding. Okay, so like just under 30,000 a day for a Cutlass Black, or you can go for Avenger Titan, which is cheaper, but it's got less cargo space. It's like a small shuttle. The Freelancer is the large one, so if you want to do like big deliveries and stuff, like this one is the one to go for. But at the same time, I think the Cutlass Black is kind of like the best middle ground, because you can use it for mining as well, like if you use a rock. And I'm going to show you how to get one of those as well. So this is where you can rent it. You can rent a rock at a refinery deck, which is on a different station. Dude knocked me out of quantum into a black hole and I found this place real, or whatever. Okay, so for refinery decks, they're going to be located at places like the Hurston L1, L2, yeah? And that's where you can actually rent the mining vehicles, like a Prospector or a Rock. Also Cutlass and the Freelancer will be available here too. And you'll pretty much get to the actual platform the same way. It's called a refinery deck instead of a cargo deck. Alright. Can we...
Attention, emergency.
Come on, dude. I just want water, bro. Pro tip, wear a helmet. Really important. Okay, so you just want to left this and you just want to click equip and it should actually put it back on. Just make sure you're wearing it, press F4 just to check so you know it's on your head. F4 is actually how you go third person, so they might remove it eventually and replace it with sort of like other things. What would be cool is like little drones, like you can go third person but only if you got a drone, and it gives you like sort of like a tactical advantage because you can see things that you couldn't usually see when you like in first person. Your ship won't look like this, by the way. Your ship will probably just be like dirty. Okay. Just like the other ship, to enter the ship you just want to F click and then it says enter pilot. And you want to power on, press the U button, which turns it on. Your engines are the I, so you can turn I on, and the O button is your shields and the P button is your weapons. Just as an example. Okay, it charges up using the power reticle, which is here. Okay, so F5 will move it to weapons, so weapons will charge faster, and then you got engines, so your boosters will charge faster, and shields. And then if you press the F8 button, it will center. If you hold the button, it will go max. So F5, 6, 7 will go max to either your weapons and stuff like that. The reason why you want to do that is just basically because of the charge rate on the weapons. If you're using energy weapons, they will recharge and they will need significant amount of power draw. Depending on what power plant you use, it will give you more shots or less shots. Shields, again, you have front and back on a specific ship. Some have side, which is the larger ships, and then some just have a whole sort of like 100% for all, and they deplete evenly and they can't be adjusted. This particular ship can adjust it, so you can actually adjust it to the front, which is using the numpad 8, and it will go up 60%, 40%. take it easy when you come out as well. Like you want to just lift off the pad using I think spacebar, and then you want to scroll forward.
Thank you. And please visit again.
It's crazy, like this is a really long video. I'm so sorry if it seems to be this way, but you just need to make sure you're doing everything is sort of like as basic as possible, keeping yourself like in the know for what you're doing. We're gonna go to a moon now. This is Magda. You just turn this off. Don't want to give you too much information about my. Okay, and we want to go to, I think there's a few places we can go. So it's Harm. Actually, Woodruff on Eta is usually one of the better places to go. So you got Pearlman. These are mining outposts. So when you go to a mining outpost, there's a few things you can do. So if you're renting something like this, like, you know, it's quite useful to know what you're doing. Okay, so we want to balance out power. Always make sure like you keep the power. If you need shields really urgently, like if your shields are getting hammered, just put your shields up 100%, and then it should like charge faster than most people can hack it down, depending on what shield you're using. It's a defensive state. If you're on the offensive, you do the opposite. You just go full ham on the guns, and it will give you more shots. So if you can see here, see I've got 18 shots on the distortion, 48 on that. But if I go to shields, it'll remove the amount I've got, and then you'll have like, this is the overheat. So when this bar goes full red, they'll go into a shutdown phase, which takes about 3 seconds to recharge, so the thing cools off. But most weapons don't have that problem. Okay, so we're here. We didn't even pay attention to pressing the N button, deploy landing gears, so you can see that. The landing gears down. And there's a couple of landing pads. If you press the L key, you can bring up the lights so you can see what you're doing. And you just want to kind of like land your drop ship here. A little bit heavy, huh? You can go third person, press F4 so you can see what you're doing. We got really strong winds. I don't know what's going on. So with regards to strong winds, your ship probably might start flying around by itself. So always turn your engines off. Really important. Okay. If you want to actually log out, you can actually just lay down and you can log out that way too. Which means that when you actually log back in, you'll be in your ship and there won't be any problems. So when we go to mining outposts and stuff like that, you can pick up things like fuel and other commodities. There is also this Platinum Bay for ground vehicles, and if you have a mining vehicle like the Rock, you can just basically spawn that and put it in the back of your Cutlass. It's always good practice to maybe close and lock up your ships so that other people can't just like get into your ship. Okay, so here in the future hopefully the coffee machine will work, but for now I don't think the coffee machine works.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Okay, so this particular one that says it's destroyed, that's fine. We're just going to claim it.
Your insurance claim has been sent. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
You can rent this obviously at the, I think it's like about 5,000 or something. It's really cheap actually, 10,000. Whoa, it's really strong winds, dude. So long as my ship hasn't started moving, we should be fine. Okay, same deal with this. You want to power on with you. And then you want to hit the I key. You want to go third person for this anyway, so a lot of kind of like forward and tap. Oh man, do you know what I'd really like? Like a small little kind of like a analog stick. Actually, there is, I think Logitech make one for like Farm Simulator. Like it's got that stuff. So they made this slightly wider than it used to be. Like it used to, it's either that or they made it narrower. Once you're at this point here, it's just a case of like making sure that you're straight. Okay, that seems to be fine. When you're in your ship or in a sort of like a station, like you should be able to just remove your helmet. But eventually they'll actually make certain areas like compressed. What about inspect? Can we inspect it? No? Drop item. Hey. Grab it. Can we eat it? God, this is taking dumb time. It was working like yesterday, so I don't know what's going on. It's probably the servers. If I go out while not wearing a helmet, what's going to happen is I'm going to start losing health. Because there's no air. So make sure you wear the helmet. Anyway, at stations, there's like these other houses. There's usually about 3 plus a Platinum Bay, so you can actually go explore. You can press the T button, you get a headlight. I mean, this fruit is like a little pineapple, isn't it? It's kind of cool. It's been a while since I've had pineapple juice. It hasn't been available, you see. Alright, dude in here is like, if you're gonna drop boxes off, you just do it here. Or you can talk to the guy and drop it off there as well. Sometimes the box missions, they'll ask you to just place it in sort of like one of these little cubby holes. And occasionally you might see boxes like this. So what you want to do is you want to scrouch. You want to click here. And then you want to see what's in it. Open up your local inventory. And then just drag all the clothing and armor. Because you can sell that. And it goes to the local inventory. So what happens is that when you're in the local inventory is that you can just drag it to your ship. Sometimes there'll be like more than one box, but they're usually hidden. Armor's worth more, so you can sell that for a little bit more than clothing. Especially helmets. If you find any like Pembroke helmets, they're like worth about something like 2,000. And you only want to pick up whatever's there, because eventually it's going to be useful to kind of like bump up those numbers that you get, so you can afford to rent your ship. See, these ships, you can get, anyone can get these ships. Like, all you need to do is just come down to here and then just like loot all the clothing and then sell the clothing, get yourself that 27k or whatever, and then just rent one. I wonder what depressurized fruit tastes like. Oh. probably explodes, you know. Alright. So we got some gloves and a hat. I mean, the thing is, like, it's not bad to have this stuff. You also want to, like, maybe drop some, like, bottles of water and food. You don't have to buy this stuff. If you actually are smart, you can literally just loot it. It's crazy. There you go. I can hear another ship. Some of these items might be rare as well. Like there's some items that are like specific hats and clothing that you can't. That are subscriber only. So technically, you can buy them off of the subscriber store, but they don't sell to the vendors. So that is one of those issues, I guess. Alright, so we've been into this one and been into that one. This should be a third one. I think it's on the other side. So this is kind of like going to be your first sort of hour in game anyway. Because I'm recording, it does actually use a little bit of the memory, so... There you go, some corduroy pants, wow, so fashionable. And then a med pen. They're kind of useful. Like, I only really pick up the useful stuff. I'd pick up the fruit as well, but like until they add sort of like a utility system where you can actually drag a selected item of a certain type. Like, these are things that I've suggested. Like they could do it if you say, for instance, if you want to drag all the oranges, maybe have a way to kind of like highlight them all by doing like a hold shift and then scroll sort of like across to build a square like you would do on desktop. Or if you hold shift and you click it, and then it will drag all of that one item to your whichever inventory. Like they're just silly quality of life changes and stuff. Like I think they need to kind of like make it more like a Windows desktop environment so that people are kind of like naturally know how to do it. Okay, I think that's all of the loot boxes in this particular hab as well, so that's all 3 or 4. Alright. These are sort of like the fun things you can do. Alright, you want to take that off. Let's see if we can eat this. Can we inspect it? Hey, dude. Jumping limes, dude. Eat that shite. Alright, done. You can drag and drop to the floor then. Alright. Yay, we're drinking it very badly. See, the bar's going down, but alright, we're at 50% now. So if you can look at the we just drop this on the floor, I don't care. We're just gonna leave some garbage everywhere. Do the same to this one when I drop that to the floor. But these are sort of like ways that you can get around it if you need to. No, okay, well, maybe it'll work better for you if like if you're not trying to record a video. Okay, so now we'll do some mining. When you're on a certain planet, there might be places that you can sort of like find gems. So what you want to do is you go to scan mode, press V, and if you scroll up and down, you can get a different size reticle. I did set my what is my yeah. So my ping beacon is the tab. So if you can see here, you got like a little box icon just comes up. That means there might be a node there, and when you get close to it, it will tell you what it is. And in this case, it is some gems. So we want to kind of like land again. Because it's high winds, again, you want to turn the engines off. And this is another gameplay loop that you can play, basically. You don't actually need to close this, by the way, if you fly around and you're doing your search shot, searching for rocks and stuff. Like, as long as you know where you are. Fun stuff. Very strong LEDs in this one. Alright, so for mining, if you have rented this from the cargo deck, you can actually just press N. And it's left click and right click basically. So your right click will change to a tractor beam, and your left one will do. Alright. You want to aim over the rock, it will give you a resistance rating, and you want to make sure it's sort of in the bar. So let's turn it up, we go 100%. So if you want to scroll your mouse wheel all the way up, and then it starts charging, and that bar on the right side should be in the optimal window, which is just about there. And then you want to bring it down. Kind of try and keep it as center as possible. You can just turn it off and then restart it sometimes. You see I'm at about 20% power, come down to 0, go up to 10. And then you'll have like all these gems will just come out of it. You want to press the right mouse button and then the left mouse button, and it will suck up. These particular gems are Dolvine, which are the most common, I believe. There's like green, purple, and sort of like a I'm not too sure. This is one of the ones that actually scans quite quickly compared to other games. So a little bit of focus you want to do, like with regards to this, just take your time. You might blow a rock up once, but it's a learning phase, so just as I said, these are just one of the many ways that you can make money in game. You can make, if you can get a full hold of cargo, you just drag it to the ship as well.
Fracturing mode on.
It gives you like all the information that you need. And also you want to keep an eye on the top left with your little radar, because you want to only see one blue pip and no red pips. You see a red pip, you want to get back on that ship. Because that guy will probably want to blow you up.
Fracturing mode on. Extraction mode on.
Again, take it easy. Once you get to about here, you want to come down to about 10%, slowly move it up.
Extraction mode on.
Got about 12% of your cargo compared, you know, you're gonna fill up quite quickly.
Mining mode off.
Oh. That's not good. There you go.
Shields off.
Alright. fun stuff. All your cargo should be in this little box, which you can check. So all of these green gems and stuff that you just got, you can just drag them to either your personal inventory, your backpack, or your vehicle if you want to. So you can just empty this out when you're full, so you don't have to worry about like just going to a station to sell it. When you have like a full cargo load, it can go for anything as much as 250,000, which will get you a new ship pretty much in a day. But again, it's all hard work, right? Just gotta be patient. This is literally an hour in, and I've already, I can tell you how much I've made by going back to a station. Okay, and we want to go back to Everest Harbour, so we want to go back to that station we started at. Just fly out of the atmosphere until you can actually use quantum. Let's do quantum, just press B to activate, and then B to engage. You can also press B again and it should shut it off, but we got some latency on this server it seems. Yeah, if it's too close, you know, you might not actually be able to get there. So what I want to do is get as close as possible. I'd say about 15 kilometers usually, so about here. If we eyeball it, and then we just want to kind of draw in things so we get close enough to just comment.
Thank you, and please visit again. Hello, and thank you for contacting EDL Landing.
And you'll get one of these struts for landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There you go. Okay, so the strut here, you want to just approach it very lightly again. Landing gears down.
Landing gear down.
Make sure you're not in cruise control, so make sure C's off. And then you just want to sort of like fly in slowly, level out, and then just dump it. Don't need to worry about turning your engines off, it's not a big deal.
Have a pleasant stay.
And for this you can actually go out the side hatch if you want to. Just close your doors. Admire your ship. You admiring, bro? Flex. Okay. We're gonna rest and relax now. We're actually gonna sell the gems that we just got. So they're in the rock mining vehicle, and we're gonna sell them at the admin office. If you press it like lots and lots of times, it does actually come faster. It's true. It's a fact. It works in real life too. If you whoa, what's that noise? There we go. Told you, see. Pressed it 3 times in a row and it came instantly. It's crazy. So this is like an hour and 10 minutes of gameplay so far. So we're going to find out how much you've made in an hour and 10 minutes. And I didn't even drag those clothes to the ship as well, which you should do. Like when you're at the stations and stuff, like just make sure you move that stuff. Can't do it now because we're not in the ship. Okay. For any of you wanting to know, my frames are like 40 frames.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit us.
Okay. We want to go to the gallery over again, because that's where the administration office is, which is where we can sell the gems. You can also sell the gems at the mining outpost as well. All commodity vendors should take gems, because like they're quite valuable.
Extraordinary, ready to reset your expectations from the everyday to the highest height.
Okay, this is the admin office. You want to go to this terminal here. You want to click a button here, and you want to select the rock. You want to click on the dollar sign, and that's how much you've just made. So not crazy money, but like all you need is 30,000, and you've literally paid for your rental. Do the same here. There you go. Just a couple of gems there as well. If you've got anything in your personal inventory, you can do the same thing. So this is coming from the backpack, and then I think there's also it's like chest armor, which has got some silly like foods and stuff. Like you can't sell this though. But there you go. Like that will be an hour worth of your time, and you can do pretty much all of that stuff. So if that's the kind of game that you want to sort of like take part in, like if you're interested in doing like just dumb stuff like this to pass time, it's great for passing time. There is no action narrative. It is literally a job simulator. So if you're into work simulators, like this is a work simulator. And you can go to a pub and you can sit here and listen to the really cheesy music.
What's the hold up?
I don't know, dude. Like, look at this guy, heavily stocked, but when you come back, like all these stuff goes missing. Anyway, you can actually get a drink from these guys. You just stand here and you just wait for the dude, who seems to be not busy doing anything. Like drugs. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna stop right now.